Spill the tea.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work.
Come on, spill the tea.
Yeah. Ooh.
You are now tuned into DAR Sports Media, and we are
This
back
is
with
light
another
work.
Hoops
Come on,
Hour,
spill the
and
tea.
it
Yeah.
is
Ooh.
raining
All right.
in the streets,
This is light work.
flooded with green, flooded with gold. It's a Celtics championship, 24 hours. Boston Celtics ran away with it last night, punked out the Dallas Mavericks. We'll have to go over some of the keys that made the Mavs such a disappointing non-factor in this championship series, because I think a lot of us expected a lot more out of them, except for Axe. Axe kind of nailed it right on. He felt good about 5, wanted to give him 6, but he did feel good about 5, and the Celtics got it done in 5. Axe, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Let's have this moment. What it means, keys. Just go ahead.
Young Axelicious now to break all the haters off something vicious. Feeling good, feeling great, man. Like on this championship Tuesday. I've been humble all year, but I ain't gonna be humble on this podcast tonight, Jack. I tell you
You're a
that right
damn
now.
liar.
Straight up. Woo! Glad to be here. DAR Hoops. Gonna let my nuts hang low like a sweet chariot right now. The
So
Celtics
what
had 8 3-point shooters that had 100 threes or more for the first time in NBA history. We were so balanced with the 3. Shoot your motherfucking face off. Jason Tatum was the 6th player in NBA playoff history to lead his team in points, rebounds, and assists. Jaylen Brown, the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, then the Finals MVP, after being left off the all-defensive team and being left off the all-NBA team. Picked up Luka, 94 feet, held him to 40% and 25% from 3 for the series. Jaylen Brown locking shit up. Quality team. Al Horford. The Dominican sprayer, pause. Stepped up when Chris Porzingis hurt his calf. Splashing threes. Defending. Getting to the paint. Finishing. 17 years in the league. Hard-earned, well-deserved championship. Top 20 in multiple categories in the playoffs. Al Horford is one of the most underrated players of all time, and this ring solidifies his Hall of Fame status. Drew Holiday, discarded by the Bucks, traded to the Blazers. Shout out to Joe Cronin for brokering a great deal, receiving Malcolm Brogdon, a draft pick, and Robert Williams for Drew Holiday, who came through and shot 50, 40, and 96% for the playoffs. Quality. This team's depth is ridiculous. Derek White with the ball head. The only player in NBA history to hit 63s in the playoffs and have 20-plus blocks. The only player in NBA history to achieve that. Derek White with the ball head, our 4th option, locking shit up. Guarded Kyrie. Kyrie in Boston averaged 15 points per game on 36% in 3 games. Locking shit up. Oh, he the most skilled point guard of all time. Oh, him and Luka. Oh, they the best backcourt of all time. They the closers. Y'all ain't got no answers for them. Ooh, the Celtics, y'all ain't battle tested. Y'all played a bunch of injured teams. Had to hear all that treachery. But you know what? The Celtics were 16-3 in the playoffs. They were 64-18 in the regular season. Combining for 80-21 for the regular season in the playoffs with a win margin of 10.7, 11 points. We beat teams by 11 points per game throughout the whole season. So I don't want to hear that bullshit talking about we didn't play nobody. We laid the smackdown on everybody in the league. Fuck is y'all talking about? And then we got everybody signed through 2025. So this shit is only the beginning. It's only going to continue. Now we got the monkey off our back. We ain't playing with pressure. Jason Tatum gonna drive to the basket more. Now that he's gonna be playing with Bron in the Olympics, gonna be soaking game from Bron and KD and Steph from the Olympics. He's gonna come back a better player next year. So we're gonna come back and whoop ass even more. This is on the beginning. Celtics Nation, Banner 18. What was y'all talking about? Sam Hauser splashing threes, guarding Luka, guarding Kyrie, Peyton Pritchard with the half-court shots, guarding Kyrie, locking shit up. Porzingis playing tough through the injuries. Defense. This is what I'm talking about, man. Celtics Nation. I've been humble all year. That shit over with. I'm going to be belligerent and arrogant all off season. Now y'all can talk. Shit.
Ax, I just want to say one thing real quick, Ax. Really quick. You are a fucking liar. You have nothing humble about you talking about, we're going to show y'all this year. We're going to show y'all this year. Look here, Rock. Nobody is here for this shit, all right? Nobody is here for that shit. Look, you can say whatever you want. Y'all won. Y'all had the best team all year. We said this on here. Anyway, we didn't believe in the Bucks. We damn sure didn't believe in the Sixers. So I don't think anybody here expected anybody else except Boston to make it. We just don't give you a hard time because, well, that's what we do here. But you the damn lie talking about some, I've been humble all year. No, the fuck you haven't. You been saying all season, talking about, oh, we're going to show y'all. Wait till Derek White with the ball here, Jason Tatum. All that. Now, what you said about Jason Tatum, though, Jason Tatum, he didn't play horrible, but he didn't play great either. He had a great game 5, but you know those games before I think he shot 39% from the field. So it's like if we're gonna be fair and talk about Luka shooting however and Kyrie shooting however, Tatum did not have the best shooting numbers. I had to give credit to somebody I don't want to give credit to, which is Jaylen Brown, obviously. But no, man. At the end of the day, the Celtics did what I think is what I like to see. Playing team basketball. They came out there to win. Their game is not predicated on heavy ISO like obviously we see in Dallas, despite Kyrie being a decent passer, despite Luka being a great passer. It's a lot of ISO, it's just that's what they thrive off of. And when they try to kick it out to PJ Washington, your Derrick Jones Jr., your Josh Greens and guys like that, they don't necessarily instill fear like a Derek White from 3, because Derek White can hit you with 5, 6 different, 5, 6, 7 threes. Al Horford shot what, 60-some% or something like that from 3 or some shit like that. So it all comes down to the Celtics obviously had the better team, which I think most people with common sense knew that. Nobody was the media has to do their job. We're not the media though. We're not them. We're not ESPN. I don't think the Celtics are going to do this. They had fucking Drew Holiday, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum on the court at the same fucking time versus PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., fucking, Tim Hardaway Jr. got way more time in pivotal games than he should have. Nigga was bricking. He was 0 for 7. And then in garbage time in game 4, he had a couple threes. And then it's a must-win game. And then you got Jason Kidd got him out there missing and shooting and breaking threes. I will say, though, Ax, one thing I did notice about your team said you guys tend to get away with a lot. You get away with a lot. I've been noticing it all season. I noticed it the year before. I noticed it the year prior to that. You're not as bad as the Lakers, obviously. But y'all do get away with a little bit, but I guess that's the weight of having that kind of
What you mean by that? You mean foul-wise or
foul-wise, y'all allowed to play a little bit more physical than I think some of the other teams. And then because I'll always go back to 2022 finals because I remember, and you know how I feel about, when it comes to Steph, but it's Steph was getting his ass whooped, but a lot of them, he wasn't getting a lot of calls. Steph never gets calls. He always get fouled. And so I feel I seen a couple possessions where I would see Luka get bumped, but the difference is that y'all been there before. Y'all been there enough times to where if Tatum, gets a bump or Jaylen Brown gets a bump, Derek White gets a bump, it's not as much as the same crying. Tatum has a tendency to whine a little bit, but it's not the same amount of crying. Luka literally cost his team a game trying to draw fouls and cry, they had a chance to win game 3, and Luka was, whether or not I agree you should call the charge for that particular 6 foul in game 3, you still shouldn't put yourself in that position. and he put himself in that position. And I was just like, okay, well, that's not the way you need to go about handling your shit. And so, like I said, at the end of the day, this is the worst thing that could have happened on this damn show. It's the worst thing of all time. The Celtics won, but the beauty of it is, you was like, people gonna put respect on Jason Tatum's name, and I guess in some way they will. But then again, look, if other people got to take flack for not winning Finals MVP, on their first chip, I mean, Tatum is no different, brother. So he I think the first 3 games, first 2 games for sure, Jaylen Brown was clearly playing better basketball than Jason Tatum. Game 3, obviously they were equal. Game 4, it's a blowout. It don't matter who played or who got low a couple more points or not. But
wasn't really even equal in game 3. Because when Dallas was making a run, Jalen was the one that stopped it with his play.
No, that's true.
That's what separated them, honestly.
I think Tatum played well enough though, but it's like watching game 5, I was saying it live. I was like, Tatum is forcing it because he wants the Finals MVP. He wanted it. You could see that shit. Like Jaylen Brown was open for a couple times, and I see Tatum do what he do. He started jacking them threes up, and he was like, he wanted that shit. He wanted that 30 piece because I think it looks better. And I see Jaylen Brown too a couple possessions trying to get it, but it's like that's
they both
at the end of the
shot. They were trying.
They were both trying, but at the end of the day, it just boils down to who was probably better those first 3 or 4 games. And I mean, I don't think too many people will argue against that. I did see people say like, "Oh, well, Tatum averaged more rebounds and more assists," and I'm like, "Well, I could say Jaylen Brown averaged more blocks and more steals." So, I mean, end of the day, Celtics won. My depression has now crippled me because I have to deal with an entire summer of Boston fans gloating, but my brother X, he's a diehard Celtics fan, so I am not gonna hate it that much. It is for all the other people, and for all the I'm just gonna fucking say it because it's DAR. All them goddamn white fans of the Boston Celtics, I take no pleasure in seeing them happy. I will never take pleasure in seeing them. Some of them motherfuckers, some of the shit they done said to some of them players, and some of the stuff I done heard. I've been to Boston once before, hated it, but you know what I'm saying? They got like 1 or 2 good things in Boston. Mercedes Monet being one of them. And other than that, actually, yeah, that's about it. That's actually about it. So congrats, X. Congrats to Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, fucking Derek White, and with the ball head, as X says. Yeah, man. Fuck y'all, but congratulations.
So I had 2 thoughts coming out of last night and seeing some of the stuff today. One, we got to really evaluate Drew Holiday's place in the all-time pantheon of the NBA, because like if you're the glue factor, if you're the final piece for 2 separate championship teams to get over the hump, and not just bringing you in, but like Drew Holiday is one of the best players in this series. That says a lot. Like, what else do you want, man? Like that dude is I think very underrated.
16.6 assists for his career. 2-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA defense. Yeah, I think 15,000 points for his career too. So definitely Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, I mean, 2 rings. Got these
Olympic
guys
gold medalist. Probably going to be
gold medalist, ultimate
gold
teammate. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely a conversation that needs to be had and not forgotten. And the second part, because I saw people, I think me and Axe, we interacted on one of these posts where they were showing the 2 drafts where they back to back, they took Jaylen Brown, they took Jason Tatum. Look, man, everybody wants to say super team this and super team that, but in both of those drafts, there were turds floating all around those 2 players that the Celtics could have picked, and they didn't. They picked the right guys. Their scouting department did their jobs and did a good job, and they picked the right guys. You cannot fault them. You cannot hate on them for doing what they're supposed to fucking do. And then keeping them, working the salary cap, doing the things you need to do in the modern sports world to keep those guys and bring more players in to support them. and win this championship. So I just think it's funny how the goalposts on what's considered super team and not super team is kind of moving, because it used to be this dirty term for when players all got together and pre-planned it themselves. And
shout out to the Nets.
Which, by the way, I don't mind. I don't mind when players do that. By the way, it's not against the rules of the league, so then why the fuck does it matter? But they built this team the way you're supposed to build a team, and they could have fucked it up like other teams did. If you look at some of those names that are picked right around them, and they didn't. They picked the right guys. So a little more credit, I think.
Yeah.
And But before the young brother gets in, I just want to say, I don't think that the way people describe super teams have changed at all, because if everything you're just describes exactly what happened with the Golden State Warriors, outside of obviously they added Kevin Durant, but people still say the 2015 and 2016 Warriors are super teams just because they won 73 games. You can look at that roster. Them niggas was not a super team until they got KD, and if that's the case, then you gotta call it a super team when you got Derek White getting added, Kristaps Porzingis, and Drew Holiday. You gotta call it. If you don't call it
same, adding those guys is the same.
No.
KD?
If you added 3 guys that added the production that they had, there's 3 guys that can get you 20 points, along with 2 guys that can average 25. That's a fucking super team. That bullshit out of here, bro. That's bullshit. You can't tell me that's
not. Pass the tape. I respond to that. I'm gonna pass.
No, I'm just saying a super team is a super team. You can't call that shit what the fuck it is if it ain't a fucking super team, bro. Like, KD averaged 25. He's one player. You added 3 players in a year that can get you 20 points. If you do that, that is still a super team.
Adding to a team that had won 70 games. Like, come on. It's trying to parallel.
But that team drafted their players. No. That's bullshit. See, that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit. It don't matter. They drafted Steph.
People were wrong to say that. They were wrong before that.
And if you call the Celtics a super team,
of a super team.
But if you call the Celtics a super team in 2022, you'll be wrong. They had Derek White, they had Al Horford, they weren't a super team. They just became the best team. They made a trade and became the best team in the East and went to the finals. The next year they came back, they were like a top tier team, and then they added Kristaps Porzingis, an all-star, Drew Holiday, all-star, all defensive guy. That's what you added that. You didn't lose anything important. So that it would be a definition of a super team. It just works. There's not a starting 5 in the NBA that's better than that, and it has 5 people who could arguably be all-stars, multiple all-defensive guys, like 5 guys who can get you 20. That's what I would say a super team was. If you're talking about super team in terms of like, okay, they didn't go and turn Marcus Smart into. I'm trying to think of who a third option. A Brandon Ingram or somebody like that, but that's still 2 players who Drew Holiday, a former champion and an all-star, all-defensive, fairly regularly all-defensive guy who could get you 20. That's still a super team. Like, we're not going to sit there and shoot through no fucking bail because the Warriors drafted their team too. Like, and they replaced Harrison Barnes with KD. They replaced Harrison Barnes with KD. That's all they did was replace Harrison Barnes with KD.
That's all they did.
No. But see, that's what I'm saying. Y'all caught up in the bullshit, bro. Harrison Barnes averaged like 15 points. KD averaged 30. So you're adding a better player at the wing to a team that was already great, a team that was just 1 game away from the finals last year, added a 23-point scorer and an all-defensive guy. If anybody else did that, we would definitely be calling that a super team. You can't shoot them down. Come on now.
Respond, I'm going to let Tay speak.
Stop shooting the Celtics bail, man. Stop shooting bail.
Are any of the guys they added top 10 players?
Yo, tell you, how you feel about what the
No, they didn't have it. But they have 2 top 15 players. No. But they had in terms of
I'm gonna respond.
No. But wait. No. They already had 2 top 20, 25 players already. So you don't need that. No, the fuck they didn't. Steph is the only person on that team that was top 10.
And fucking Klay Thompson.
Draymond Green was not a top 20 player, bro. Draymond Green, a top 20.
I want
top 15. Draymond, come on, bro. No, Draymond.
Combo, bro. We're gonna come back. Like football is
Nah,
comedy.
Draymond
I
is a
wanna
top
be in this combo
15,
now. I'm not
top
gonna
20
lie.
player. Draymond, y'all
Yes,
bugging, bro. I'm done.
yes. Draymond Green was first team on defense. Draymond Green was
He
second
was not
team
top
all
15,
NBA.
top 20.
Yes,
He was
he was
not top 15, top 20.
if
No,
you
the
are
fuck he
second
wasn't.
team all NBA, there's 10 people in that. You get 5 in the
Multiple-time
first team
All-Star.
and 5 in the second team.
That doesn't mean you're a top. That don't.
Yes, obviously
No.
that season. No,
He was
No.
top 24
No.
player.
Green was
Yes.
like that. Draymond Green is one of
No.
the best defenders in our generation. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disagree with you
Don't
with
act
that.
like
Not disagree with
Green
that.
was a
No.
bum. Draymond Green was nasty.
He's not a bum, but he's not top. He was
This
not a top
Warriors
10,
team
top
wasn't-
15.
So you're saying this Warriors team wasn't a super team?
What? No, I'm talking about with KD. They became a super team, just like the
Both
Celtics
of them
became a
were
super
super
team
teams.
when they added Porzingis and Drew Holiday. They won a
Both of
super
them
team
were
before
super
that.
teams.
Fuck no. The Warriors became a super team in 2017 when they added KD. That's what I'm saying. They did
Yes,
become a super
they
team,
did.
just like
Correct.
the Celtics. The Celtics became a super team when they added a 23-point scorer and Drew fucking Holiday, who was the fucking third option on a championship team 3 years before and could average 20 in an all defense. It's nothing wrong with saying that. It's just I don't understand how people like, no, we're moving the goalposts over. No, we not. It's the same shit. It's the same stuff. It's just it don't look the same because obviously it's not. You got Jaylen Brown and Jason. That's their two stars already, who average 25 points a game equally. So they needed a third complimentary scorer. They got Porzingis. They needed another scorer who could also defend. They got Drew Holiday, who happens to be all defense, all NBA. You just talking about Draymond Green. Drew Holiday to me is not like, I don't like Drew Holiday like that. So I'm not going to big him up anyway. But he is very much an all defensive guy who can average 15, 20 points a game, and you put him on the team as the fourth or fifth option. I mean, that would look like a fucking super team. Like, I don't understand why they did it the right way. They drafted. So did other teams. And you call them a super team because they add pieces that take them over the top. There was nobody on paper that looked better than the Celtics. That's all I'm saying. Tay spent all year also saying the same thing. We both said the same thing.
They're super teams. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
And like I said, that's all I'm saying. Y'all talking about goalpost moving? Nah, it's the same shit. It's just they added more pieces.
I'm gonna respond to that, True.
Stop shooting them back.
But Tay,
That's
like,
the team.
what you think about like how the Celtics played this season, like throughout the year? I just want your like feedback, unbiased opinion, like no Knicks fan shit, just like unbiased.
Come on, man. I'm the most unbiased analyst in the world, man. But the Celtics, they were the best team from day one. Just when you saw the offseason, like when they were making all the trades, like when they did add Porzingis, they added Drew Holiday, just fleecing teams. Like they weren't even fair trades. Like just that alone, I'm like, come on, yo. Like why the Celtics? Like, yeah, Brad Stevens, he did his thing for sure. Like they literally fleeced team after team after team in the offseason. Paid everyone. They paid Drew Holiday. They paid Drew Holiday. I'll keep it at that. But I mean, they just been the best team from day one. They steamrolled through the playoffs, steamrolled through even the finals. I mean, no team really gave them issues. Just from top to bottom. I mean, they didn't even really need a bench. They just had their 6 guys. If you want to count Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser, whatever, but you know, they just roll with their 6 guys and they just rotated them in and out. They were blessed with great health too. That's another big reason. That's how you win championships too. Yeah, everything just went their way. You know, they got the better matchups, had the best team, made the right moves. Yeah, that's normally how championships go. It's, you know, so yeah, Celtics definitely deserved it. They were the best team by far in a way. Like, they would beat the Nuggets, they would beat the Timberwolves, they'd be any team that matched up with them. Like, you know, doesn't matter. Like, so people were saying, oh, the Timberwolves the Timberwolves didn't make the finals. The Nuggets didn't make the final. The Lakers, whoever thinks that this team could beat this, no. So this is the Celtics year. They deserved it. They were by far and away the best team in the NBA.
And it looks like they're bringing everybody back next year. So that it's going to be a big challenge. Who do you guys think that could step in and possibly represent a challenge next year? Tay, go
It's
ahead since you were
unbiased.
already going and you waited.
Man, in the East, I think the only team that could keep up, I guess I wouldn't even say be better than them. I say the Knicks. That'd be the only team that, like, with a similar deep roster that can throw different guys out there. A team with defenders, a team with rim protection, a team with elite scoring. Like in the East, yeah, I would say it's just the Knicks. In the West, I mean, I don't know if the Timberwolves, if they run this team back, I don't think the Timberwolves are better than the Celtics. I think Rudy Gobert, he would be exploited. Karl Anthony Towns is horrible. It's not really that many. Someone has to make a big trade, something. Someone needs to make a splash. I guess I'll say Denver. That's about it.
They're
Just
always
because
there.
they got the best player in the league on their team, and they won it recently. And even then, they got some issues too. Like they didn't win either. They didn't even make it to they didn't make it to the conference finals. They have some issues too. But I say the only teams that could give them problems. I'm not even saying better than are Denver and New York.
So, and it feels like right now, depending on the developments that happen, we might be in a similar situation next season where we're saying, what were we all saying the whole time? People who's going to beat the Celtics is going to be themselves. And that, I mean, a lot could happen in the offseason. A lot of moves could get made. And they could be happening pretty darn quick after the posting of this show.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for, we'll have some reactions, obviously, on social media and posting the regular Hoops Hour. And we're going to be doing a big draft special with our guy, Ken Moore of Shock Sports. Going to be running down his big board, Shock Sports Scouting Agency. So be on the lookout for that stuff. So, but right now, man, it might be another situation of hey, Celtics might, the biggest challenge is going to be in their own heads. We'll see if they got the, now that they know what it takes, now that they've got that championship pedigree built in. Who knows?
It would have to be an injury
back-to-back situation. Yeah,
or
that.
Yeah, that honestly, I'm not wishing that. I want every single player to play all 82 games, but that'd be the only way the Celtics. I honestly think they would lose if someone got hurt, someone important, like Tatum or Brown. If one of them got hurt, that'd probably be the only way. They would show vulnerability, but like I said, it's not really no one out there that's gonna stop them. They might be a dynasty. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. They have the five, and I don't think Al Horford is that hard to replace. So yeah.
Yeah. As an unbiased Celtics fan, I think it'll be the Knicks in the East. I don't really think the Bucks, unless they make a trade for a Levine or a younger player to help out what Giannis and Dame has going on. I don't really think they'll be a factor. Maybe Philly, if they make a trade for Paul George, maybe they'll be in the mix. He's an upgrade from Tobias Harris, but we consistently beat Philly. We beat them 3 times in the playoffs already. So as far as the East, I'm not sure, but Denver is giving us the toughest matchup. And surprisingly, OKC is giving us a bad matchup the past couple years too. They beat us a couple times these past few years. Just the pace they played with, and for whatever reason, Josh Giddey plays very well against the Celtics. I don't know why, but he hits threes and everything. Dude averages 25 a game against us. It's crazy. But yeah, those two teams are problematic for the Celtics in the past few years. And I'm expecting Memphis to be a bit better. We've beaten Memphis consistently, but I think they got something coming this season, especially if they make a trade. I think they should make with acquiring Jared Allen. I think that'll help them a lot without having to give up too much. But yeah, those are some teams I expect to be kind of in the mix. I expect Minnesota to be back too. I think they're going to make a move to try to get some additional scoring to help out Anthony Edwards and probably upgrade the point guard position since Mike Conley's 38. But yeah, I still think the Celtics can repeat. Everybody's signed through 2025, so we're in great shape. And as far as the super team comments that True was talking about earlier, just to touch on that really quick. Now I look back at it after everything I said earlier in the first 5 minutes, I don't have to rehash it. With the 3-point shooting, the multiple guys that average double figures scoring throughout the season. The defense, having the number 1 offense and the number 2 defense, that's very impressive. Having multiple 20-point per game scores, three 20-point per game scores, 2 guys on the all defensive team, potentially 4 Hall of Famers on the team. Like I gotta admit, it's a super team at this point. Like I was fighting it earlier, but now that we got through and I was able to like watch everything and let it soak in, I'm like, yeah, we was a super team, man. This was one of the best teams of the last 10 years, and everybody was hating, talking shit. Like we went 16-3 in the playoffs. Like no series went past 5 games. That hasn't happened since the 2000 Lakers. So like, this is some historical shit, man. Like to really fit back
2017
in.
Warriors, actually.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That was the last
You're
time.
Right. You're right. 2017 Warriors, and then like the 2000 Lakers. So we're in the category with them teams. It's just crazy to really like. This is a historically great team. Despite, everybody gonna be like, oh, well, Jimmy Butler didn't play. And well, Jimmy Butler should have took the motherfucking regular season serious, and he wouldn't have been the play-in and got hurt on the pump fake on the foul. How about that? I can't control the Donovan Mitchell got hurt. Like, motherfuckers acting like we practicing voodoo and shit. Like, Mitchell was kind of fucking us up the first couple games, but, we were 16-3. Like, we were shaking back from early loss. Like,
The Celtics would have whooped those fucking teams.
Yeah, we had a terrible game 4, but shook back and won by 18 in the next game. Like, we had lost 1 game in a month. Everybody's like, oh, if the Celtics lose this game, how nervous you gonna be? Or if the Celtics lose this game, like, y'all gonna lose a series, like, y'all gonna be the first team. It's like, yo, it's 0-156 for a motherfucking reason. You can't win 4 straight. It's hard to muster that type of energy for 4 straight games. Celtics is 2023-2024 champions. Straight up.
True. Who's going to step up to stop us from hearing about this again next year, this time?
First of all, I just want to say this. Fuck the Red Sox. Fuck the Bruins. Fuck the Patriots. Fuck the Celtics. Fuck everybody on this panel, including myself. I'm just eating my first meal today. I'm very disgruntled today. So fuck everything right now. Fuck everything. But honestly, the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't know who's going to be the team that stops that. Because how do you stop a team that actually, admit it, a super team? You don't. You have to. It takes a lot. When we saw like the Miami Heat as a super team, like the Warriors a super team. When you see those super teams, what happens with those teams is that their chemistry gets better usually as they continue on with each other. What slows them down is health, because everybody's getting a year older. So I hate to, and I know Tay kind of alluded to that too. Like, I hate to say that, that's really the only thing that's going to stand in the way of them getting out the East, honestly, is health. Because the Knicks are probably their closest challenge, because the Knicks are coached well. They defend. They have great scores, and they have like guys who put effort in. And you need that, because there are times where we've seen Tatum can go missing in certain pivotal moments, and maybe Jalen Brunson could step up and be that guy who would take them over the top over them, especially if they're fully healthy. The issue with the Knicks is they are well coached, but they're overworked, as it seems, because everybody on that damn team starts breaking down after the long minutes. So I don't know if I trust the Knicks to be, you playing Josh Hart 45 minutes in a regular season in a December game with Jalen Brunson playing 43 minutes, 42 minutes. I don't know if I trust that to be the team that's going to go the distance and go to the finals over Boston. So I would love to see the Knicks be the team, because I think Madison Square Garden deserves a final series. I just, like, it's been a long time. 25 years since the Knicks have been in the finals. If I'm not 25, it was 1999, the shortened season against the Spurs.
25. Before Mr. Tayshaun Archive was born.
Yeah, wow. Like that's how take on everybody old. But that is a long goddamn time. That's a long time to not have any success for you.
Y2K the last time the Knicks got to the finals.
Rough. That is rough. So I would love to see
last time they got to the finals.
But I will say this: in the playoffs,
wasn't even on TV the last time they got to the finals. Weak ass niggas. Ooh, like Madison Square Garden is the best out of everybody. Fuck out of here.
Well, no, I will say this though about
championship. Since Good Times was on TV, 1973. Fuck is we talking about?
Wait, that's true too, right? That's a fact, right? That's a fact. I think that's a fact.
Sanford Sun was on TV on NBC the last time they won the championship.
So I think we know in terms of success in the NBA, there's like 4 franchises, right? Or 5 franchises that hold the key to having the most success or the most dynastic runs. And none of like the Lakers, obviously, the Celtics, you got the Bulls, they had one long dynastic run. They will never have another one again. The Warriors had their run. Spurs had their run. So those are 5 teams who really, over the course of the last 40, 50 years, you could argue the Bad Boy Pistons as well. I don't know if I call it complete dynasty like that, but
they also had a run. Better than what New York got going on, yo. New York, that's bullshit. We the mega. Like, man, y'all motherfuckers been like disappointment in like finals exits and first round exits for 30 to 40 years. Cut the bullshit. Detroit has been more successful than New York over the last 40 years. That's a fact. 3 championships to 0.
That is true. And the Knicks have had some good players come through. They just haven't been able to get the right mix, I guess. I think this is the best chance they have of getting to it. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening because once again, Tibbs is going to run them in the ground. I think I don't know if like even in the playoffs, he's playing Josh Hart all 48. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I know these guys are well-conditioned athletes, but the game is different. You know what I'm saying? These niggas' hamstrings is not what it used to be. These niggas, you know what I'm saying? Their ankles ain't what it used to be back in the day. So, but in terms of the Western Conference, it's got to be Denver, right? I think, honestly, I thought Denver just seemed like they just fizzled out this year, and it is hard to go back-to-back. It's really hard to go back-to-back. I mean, like I said, we were talking about super teams. It took a lot for the Heat, Miami Heat, to go back-to-back when they was a super team with Braun, Wade, and Bosh in them, and they barely got through the Eastern Conference against the Pacers, and I didn't think that Pacers team, a slept-on team from that era. They really got lucky against the Spurs, so it's like it's really hard to go back-to-back, and I think Denver will come back more focused. I think hopefully Jamal Murray can stay healthy and he can stay because he wasn't looking like himself. Really, majority of the playoffs. I mean, he did what he did, I guess, against the Lakers. But I mean, it's the Lakers, so they kind of laughing stock at times. So I don't know. Denver. I agree with you, X, about OKC. I think OKC, if they can make a move, and they got 30,000 draft picks.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah. If you add Laurie to that roster, and I know you mentioned Josh Giddey. I would like to see Josh Giddey get the hell off of OKC because I like the team and I hate Josh Giddey, so I would like to see Josh Giddey off that team.
Kuzma, yo. That's the talks, yo.
Kuzma for Giddey is interesting because Kuzma on OKC. We'll see. We'll see how that. Yeah. I think Laurie's a better fit. They needed a shooter. Laurie can shoot. Laurie can score. I think he's a good fit too. I think OKC is definitely gonna make a move. They got so many draft picks. You gotta make a move. So if they make a move, they came real close, man, to the Western Conference Finals, and this is their first time going that far in the playoff. Like they weren't ready yet, but now you got that experience. You took that L, and you can come back from it. And
Utah got a couple pieces, bro. Like if you think about it, you can get Markkanen and Colin Sexton or Markkanen and Jordan Clarkson. That'll help out OKC. Tay, what you think about that?
Adding, bringing people from the Jazz to the Thunder.
Yeah, like they might not be number one options, but they could be like complimentary pieces that can help them out.
send Goody to Utah. He belonged there. Yeah, send Goody to Utah. He belonged there for sure.
It could work out for them. Like those
True,
two.
you're a fool for that.
This somebody's gonna catch that. This somebody's gonna catch that shit. Send Goody to Utah. That's right. That's where he belongs.
What did you say, Tay?
But yeah, I mean, that would be nice for them. I don't know if Utah is willing to move all three of them at the same time. I think that'd be crazy. That's like a core right there. But I mean, they could use it. OKC's not that far off from like really contending, like getting the conference finals and stuff like that. Actually being a real threat. So yeah, they could use Lloyd Markkanen and Colin Sexton.
Yeah, Utah got Keontae George though. And then Colin Sexton replaces Josh Giddey. He gonna shoot them open shots that Giddey was passing up because Sexton's a 20-point per game scorer. Like he got his deficiencies, but he's been scoring 20 in multiple seasons. So
I don't think Colin Sexton would start.
Huh?
I don't think Colin Sexton would start if that were to actually happen.
He might not start, but he can still be like a scoring punch along, like to take pressure off of Shea. Like he's a better scorer.
And they need a 6-man anyway.
Huh?
They need a real 6-man to me. I mean, that guy.
Yeah,
so I'd be perfect.
Colin Sexton would strictly. I don't think he would play too much with Shea. Like if they were to make that trade, it would be it'd be Shea, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Laurie, and Chet. Like I don't see too much.
They need another shot creator in the backcourt though. Like you don't think they would like look at him at least, either him or Clarkson? Like
There's
you don't think either one of them would help OKC?
Yeah,
I think Clarkson fit. I think Clarkson would fit better in terms of if playing with Shea. I think he could play with Shea a little bit more than Sexton.
Yeah, he more off ball. I see what you're saying. You're right. Like, and then you talk to Utah. Like that would really help them out a lot. Like,
that is a good question too, right? Like, what teams do you think are going to be the sellers? You know what I'm saying? Because we know who's going to be buyers.
Portland needs to sell. They need to sell Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simon to see what they can get for them. I think Cleveland needs to sell too. See what they can get for Jared Allen. I'm pushing for Jared Allen in Memphis for a while.
You mentioned Memphis, yo. You mentioned Memphis about, I'm interested to see how they do this year, because the one thing I don't think we talk about is that Ja is a great player, but his playing style, I have some of the same concerns I think we all had about D Rose at one point when he was, you know what I'm saying? Like D Rose obviously is a different situation because D Rose was, he had some of the worst. That's just some of the worst injury luck ever. But Ja has had like either an injury or something to take him away from his team like multiple times over this last couple of years. So
my thing with Memphis was if they would get Jared Allen and keep their core. Triple J had a great season last year on the low. He averaged like 24 a game last year, say? Or something like that.
Yeah, he played pretty good.
Yeah, Bane averaged about like 22 himself. Gigi Jackson averaged about 15. Vince Williams averaged about like 14 and 15. They got Martin Smart. So I feel like they're about like 8 deep. If they would get Jared Allen and push Triple J at the 4, I think they got a good enough team to like really compete. Remember they traded Steven Adams when he was hurt for like nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a void that's missing. I mean, especially if Brandon Clark doesn't come back healthy. So
I think the Pelicans should be sellers. Honestly,
they need to get Deontay Murray. They need to stop bullshit and get him.
Because I don't like they get. I think Brandon Ingram. That's done. I think that's done there. He's done there. So if he's out, I mean, you got to look at you're looking at keeping Herb, you're looking at keeping Trey Murphy, and you need somebody that's going to replace the production of a Brandon Ingram. You need somebody that's going to show up a little bit more than DeJounte would be a good fit there.
I think he'll be a little more productive than Garland would be. I was thinking Garland at first. They need a point guard. I'm like, I think DeJounte, he'll give you like 21, 7, and 7. And like he's durable. He's more durable than Ingram is.
That is very true. Speaking of durability in the Pelicans, there is the obvious elephant in the room of can Zion get through an entire season? Right. That's going to be the main thing, right? Can he get through an entire season? So we got a lot of things like on the table for the offseason because it's like if Zion, I guess that's the question, right? If Zion, yeah, it's like if Zion can't stay healthy though,
with the Nets, like the Nets, this is their opportunity to rebuild.
They need to sell. They need to sell.
Yeah,
they need to sell. They need to blow that shit up.
Talking about like they got offered multiple first round picks for Bridges and they turned it down. Like for what? That nigga is going to lead you to 25 wins, bro. He like a 22 per game ass nigga at the most. Hey, no, fuck out of here. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm getting to my creation bag. I'm sorry, dog.
No. We're good. We got a little bit of it's good. On top of the Celtics championship celebration, we got a little look ahead of the
not free agents right
buyers,
now. So,
buyers, sellers, and who can make moves to challenge these champions from establishing a dynasty. We hope to continue establishing our dynasty here on DAR Sports Media. Things are looking up for a possible weekend wrestling this weekend. The most outside wrestling podcast hosts you have ever seen in your life.
I just forgot about that shit.
Yeah, we're looking good this week.
I totally forgot about it.
There's a lot to talk about in the wrestling world that's been going down
lately.
So, I mean, between
Bray Wyatt
debuted Monday night, and then the numbers last week, AEW losing to NXT. Hey,
I forgot about that. See,
okay. So, hopefully we're looking good at that. Even if I gotta record from an austere location, I'll talk to you about that. True, because I will still be outside, but we're gonna fucking do a show.
Gonna be on the beach or some shit. That's like doing it from the beach house or something.
May or may not be. United Football Media. We put out our final "Tell Me About It" of the season championship game, covering that. Stay tuned to their social media, all the new stuff that they got coming up, and we will still be on the United Football Media YouTube page monthly going forward, covering all football. So looking forward to that. Again, weekend wrestling. Stay tuned to the socials, all the new stuff we got coming out. Please, if you dig this, subscribe, spread the word, keep us rolling. As you can see from the struggles, the struggles of success that we have here, blessed with too much success, the world of DAR never stops.